He publicly announced that the presidential election should be held in 5 years. I won't respond to other matters, but I think it is better to re-analyze some of the judgments mentioned by parliamentarian Anurukumara Dissanayake. I believe what Maithripala Sirisena asked is, since he became president on the 8th of January 2015 and the constitutional amendment was passed on the 22nd of April 2015, will those few months also be included in his term?
Meanwhile, the opposition says that preparations are being made to pass the constitutional amendment as an urgent bill. Why
is the government introducing a new act? I believe that the government is trying to bring this as an urgent bill under Article 122. That is to say that the term of the president is 5 years and not 6 years, and send it to the Supreme Court. They are trying to do it. Could you stand up and say that this will not be brought as an urgent bill? If an anomaly in the constitution is being corrected without it affecting anyone, without affecting the election, there is no issue there. Therefore, I table in Parliament the cabinet paper and the draft. It is the amendments that we make according to the interpretation and guidance of the Supreme Court that becomes part of the constitution. An interpretation given by the Supreme Court does not become part of our constitution. What are we doing here? We are endorsing the interpretation given by the Supreme Court in Parliament and making it part of our constitution. What's wrong in doing that?
The opposition leader today called for the election to be held instead of plotting constitutional conspiracies.
constitutional conspiracy.
There is an opinion among the general public that the president and the government are plotting a constitutional conspiracy. There is a suspicion. That is why a proposal like this was presented. It is shameful that a president without a mandate is using a distorted mandate to engage in extra constitutional actions. Why do we say that there is a constitutional conspiracy? Leader of the House, can you tell me what happened to the local government election? They said they don't have 10 billion rupees for the election. They said there were no provisions to hold the election. With everything that has happened, we have a reasonable suspicion that the same thing will happen during the run-up to this presidential election. We ask you not to be cowards. Come before the people and face an election. Learn to come before the people and respect the decision of the people. Do not wrong the people. Do not violate the constitution. There is no room for a Hitler in this country. There is no room for a Mussolini here. This country only has room for a democratic rule.
Parliamentarian GL Piri said that the Election Commission will be empowered to declare the presidential election before the preliminary work on the constitutional amendment can begin.
When one of their plots fail, they try another plot. Their intention is to continue these plots. This is nothing else. This is not a proposal. This is an act. Then if they are to bring this act, they have to publish it on the Gazette. Then any citizen has the right to go to the Supreme Court in 2 weeks and file a petition. Therefore, nothing can be done until the 6th of August. By the 6th of August, the Election Commission would have already declared the presidential election. The Election Commission will get the power to declare the election in another 6 days, that is on the 17th of July.
Meanwhile, the government leveled several allegations against parties in the opposition today.
As far as I know, the Cabinet of Ministers have not reached any decision to postpone the election. The money required for the election has been allocated. If the Election Commission is also saying that there is no issue, and if the government is saying that there is no issue, if the Supreme Court is also saying that there is no issue, I don't understand what the intention behind this proposal is. I believe that it is not the government that is trying to postpone the election. It is clearly seen that several trade unions affiliated to opposition political parties are trying to destabilize this process.
විපක්ෂය නියෝජනය කරන වෘත්තීය දේශපාලන වෘත්තීය සමිති කිහිපයක් කටයුතු කරනවා කියන එක පේනවා.
Parliamentarian Chandima Virakodi said that an attempt is being made to postpone the election as the president's candidacy is currently facing several issues.
අපට ලැබෙන ආරංචියට අනුව නම් එතුමා මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා
According to the information that we have received, he had fallen at the feet of Mahinda Rajapaksa and Basil Rajapaksa and asked them not to name Dhammika Pereira as the presidential candidate on the 2nd. That is when they were planning on making the announcement. He had said, don't name Dhammika Pereira on that date. Give me time until the 27th and I will come with 15 members of the Samagi Jana Balavegya. He had also pleaded with them to allow him to be Dhammika Pereira's prime ministerial candidate if he cannot bring these people in. Kanchana Vijayasekara doesn't know about it.
සූදානම් කියන ආයාචනය රාජපක්ෂවරුන්ගෙන් කළා තියෙනවායි කියන එක කාංචන විජේසේකර දන්නේ නැහැ.